Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? And welcome to the Aging Potheads. I am the Funky Monk, aka Big Brother Boss. And with me, as always, is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm real good. Man,
Good.
I just woke up from a nap, y'all. So y'all know how that
wow,
goes.
You need to
And that's
get
yes, y'all.
into
I
it.
want to welcome everyone. Go ahead and let us know where you are, where you are watching from, along with what are you smoking. Because right now we are about to blaze.
Yes, we are. Let me go hit. I'm just punching shit. Let's see. Stop touching shit.
Damn fan! I got a fan blowing because it gets warm in here. And it just took all my stuff.
Took all of all the essence.
Exactly, taking away the flame and everything. Now, this week, y'all, in a rare occasion, we both have are smoking the same thing.
Oh,
I have Durban Poison as well as Miss Candy has
one of our good old standbys.
And so Durban Poison, which is a sativa, a good sativa at that, y'all. Miss Candy, you gave it 5 out of 5.
I did.
Okay.
I did. Well, it just, I think I put in the little notes the note that I saw was it's like the espresso of like weed. So it kind of gives you a jolt. It doesn't leave you all like cloudy and like hazy or anything like that. It just kind of cuts through all of that and just gives you, the push that you might need to get whatever you need done today. So that's why I like it. If you guys know, I'm usually an indica kind of girl. I like to relax, I like those kinds of weeds. But I do also, I'll hit the sativa too, like if I want to be up and want to be focused. So that's why I gave this one a 5 out of 5 because it was hitting.
Now, me myself, and this is just me. I gave it a 4.
Okay.
And the reason I gave
weed ain't the same. All strains
no,
ain't the same.
all weed
They're
ain't
the
the same
strain, but they don't hit the same all the time.
Yeah, it might not hit the same for the same for different people either. What I found out is you're right. It does have that espresso effect, and sometimes, I mean, when I smoked it at the time I smoked it, I didn't need the buzz. I didn't need the restlessness. You know what I mean? I wasn't anxious, but I just felt like I was too energized. I felt like I had to do something. You know what I mean?
Let me clean up Las Vegas Boulevard, like
something like that.
And shit like that.
I'm finna go vacuum the roof, some shit like that. So that's the whole thing. So what are y'all smoking? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you're smoking, and also let us know where you're watching from. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So definitely let us know where you are watching and smoking from. Let us know what you're smoking, because I'm one of those people who will go out and try something if I haven't heard of the strain. Now, sometimes, and for some of you folks, especially on the East Coast, y'all have some weird name and shit. So if I can't find it, I'll definitely try to find the West Coast equivalent, because sometimes y'all be smoking the same stuff, y'all just have different ass names for it.
I mean, and then if we just being honest, the West Coast has to. We just got we got the best weed, Cali weed.
We not going.
The more east you go, the browner the shit gets. So
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that with the folks. We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, we not. Well, I don't want to start no trouble. I just wanted to throw that out there.
And then we do have Tony in the chat. He says we should try to strain my cock. No, I'm not trying to try that strain.
No, we don't want to try.
I'm not looking for that strain, sir.
I'm not. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Now this week's strain of the week is Granddaddy Purple, which is a classic marijuana indica strain, and it is a cross between Purple Urkel and Big Bud, resulting in a high percentage strain that will hit both of you in your head and your body. It's going to hit. Whatever you do, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit hard. And this one right here, in my opinion, is not for beginners. This one is gonna knock you on your ass. So although it's a classic strain, I don't recommend it for beginners. That's just my opinion. Your opinion and your mileage may vary, y'all. We discussed five things about, last week about new smokers. Definitely run that back for last week's show and get those tips from us. Now,
yes, please.
Now, before we jump off into it, y'all, I do have a follow-up from last week's thing. We were talking about names going extinct. Now, Mr. Kirk Franklin has been on the news, not on the news, been on my timeline, and he was talking about how his granddaughter's name is Levi, and he said,
which is a beautiful name.
Which is a beautiful name. I thought Levi is a beautiful name, and he said, but for the sake of the new generation, we should go back to old names. Into which he said his granddaughter's name should be Betty. He came up with, I think he said Ethel, and he also said Geraldine. And I'm sorry, Kirk.
Don't do that to that baby.
We're not doing this, Kirk. We're not doing this with you, Kirk.
We're not going back to that. We
like we were just saying before we came on air, I don't want to see no little newborn named Mabel. I don't want no newborn named Ethel. I don't want no newborn named Shirley or any of those old ass names that, remind us of our granny. Like Miss Candy said before we came on the air, if your baby named Mabel, I expect her to be cooking on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like I need you to be in there cooking Sunday dinner. If your name is Mabel, Dorothy, like any of them names, like just my mind automatically goes to home cooked food. I just because that's just my thought process. So no, we don't need no Betty. Don't do that. Don't
be that person, y'all. Please don't be that person. I love y'all. I love y'all with everything, but don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Please don't do that to us. Don't do that to you. Like I said, I don't want to have expectations of that child. I really don't.
Right.
Now,
exactly.
Also, in weed news, Joe Biden, the president, is offering pardon for marijuana offenses.
Oh yeah.
Now, I believe this should be blanket across all offenses, not just the federal offenses. I believe he should extend it to the states because a lot of our marijuana offenders are on state charges, and it should only affect those, in my opinion, in states where marijuana is legal. And what I mean by legal, I mean recreational. We really can't go medical. I want to say across the board. That's my opinion. Across the board.
I would like it to be across the board. I understand that there has to be like statutes set for stuff like that, because there has to be some kind of limit.
Yes.
But I would reserve that personally for people that, if you just moving weight, like that's kind of, you're doing too much. But I think it should just be legal all over the country at this point. It doesn't make sense to only legalize it here and like have other states, because now, if you're traveling, you gotta, you can't just. You see what happened to Brittany Griner. Like,
exactly. In the interest of fairness, and looking at it from both sides, I believe that on the federal level, they should decriminalize it. Now, getting into changing the class and things like that so it's not a controlled substance, that's a longer journey. But I do believe the feds should decriminalize it. It means that you're not going to get federal charges for possession. It's not going to keep you from getting state charges, but it will keep you from, and you make the rules. We all know here in Nevada, I believe it's 4 ounces is the maximum you should be able to have in your possession, which is a quarter pound. I believe that's what it is. I do have to look it up. But I believe it's 4 ounces here you can have on your possession. And I believe there should be rules also. Let's be clear. I personally make sure that we stay within that limit. Oh, somebody said in the comments, I believe David Keith said 2 ounces, and Tony said only 1 ounce. So we got to check that out. So we got to check that out.
Yeah, we got to get some clarity on that.
Because I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't smoke it. I don't smoke and drive, but I do buy and drive.
Just not answer.
Okay, so Tony said, I'm not Tony. David Keith said, 1 ounce recreational, 2 ounces if it's medical. So I can tell you right now, I've driven with more than that. I'm not gonna lie, way more than that.
I might have that on the floor in the car. I don't know.
But my marijuana, y'all, even though I can have large quantities of it at a time, it's all for personal use. I ain't sitting up here serving bags out my front door. And a lot of folks who use don't either. But I will agree to limits as long as they're not like silly ass limits.
Yeah, for stupid. I mean, I think, and honestly, I think 3 is fair. Like maybe 3 or 4 is fair. Like just because
I think a quarter pound is fair.
Yeah, like people, people want to, don't probably always have the either mobility to go get some weed, or you should be able to stock up on it. Like you go to the grocery store, just have it, and that don't mean you smoking it all or serving it, or. I mean, and even if you are, that's your business, like
it is your business. That's why I believe on the federal level, Biden should at least decriminalize it. Yeah, and the rules and everything. I know you can't have any violent offenses, because people said, oh, they're gonna let out drug dealers and killers, and that's not the thing. If you're in there on a murder charge and you serving life, but one of the charges they had added was marijuana, all we're getting rid of is the marijuana charge, y'all. Ain't nobody trying to send this guy out on his whole sentence. They're basically saying, because for those who don't know, you get charged by line items like a receipt. They just don't clump them all into one charge. And the judge sentences you for that. So all they're saying is that the marijuana portion of your federal case, they are going to cut out.
But you still, if you got additional charges,
exactly,
you still gonna have to do that.
Now, some of y'all, because we know some people out there got bigger charges, and so they're not gonna want to apply for this because then that takes away their federal case, and they won't be able to stay at a federal prison. Because
I mean, if I were, because I've only done federal time, you know, I can maybe agree to that if you've got time to do. But you know, if it's a reduction on your sentence, as a whole, then
well, some
you know,
people,
and then some people like state. But I mean, honestly, just from that experience, some people, I mean, the state prison a little bit, you know, I mean, it's state run, so it's a little bit more janky and ghetto, and you know, you know, you're running into like booty war. I mean, you know, there's booty warriors everywhere, but you know, it's just more, you know, like they more, you know, it's a different crime. It's blue collar crime, so it's just the element that's in state prison. But a lot of people that I met in federal prison who were coming from state prison would prefer to go back to state. So it just really depends on, you know, I don't know how we're comparing prisons, but you know, no, like they're all bad, you know, but
like some cases they say some people want the federal charges so that they can go to a federal prison. They apply for the state to drop their charges or vacate their sentence so that they can serve at a federal penitentiary. Sometimes for safety, you know.
I mean, it's a myriad of things, you know, like exactly. And you know, some people like it. You know, I would definitely prefer federal prison over. You know, I'm not, like I said, I've never been in state custody, so I've been in the county though. So it's, you know.
She said booty. Tony. She said booty warrior.
Booty warrior.
if you have not seen
the
Boondocks, or the actual guy,
just Google booty warrior.
Just Google booty warrior. Trust me, you're in for a treat. Whether you get the original or the Boondocks episode.
See, I called you Chris Hansen. I think you're handsome.
Exactly. It's a good one, y'all. But it led to the question here, and this wasn't in the thing. Just how much do y'all smoke? I mean, I can literally go through, you know, people. I see people on the street buying eighths. An eighth isn't gonna last me a day.
No, oh no, that's gone in like a couple hours.
Yeah, don't give me an eighth. Sometimes I roll an eighth into one blunt. So
it depends though with me though, because if I'm by myself, I won't smoke a whole blunt by myself. I'll just smoke enough to get like high, and then I'll put it out and I'll save it for later. But if I'm with people, we going through that.
Yeah, you know. Now I remember when we were younger, we get that dime and the whole crew. I don't know how everybody
was doing that. I remember we was getting dimes, and the weed wasn't even that was like some pretendo or like some,
you know, we had
stress or something.
So I'm thinking, man, God, how much weed did we only scratched up $20. So I couldn't imagine that being more than a gram or two. An eighth was definitely a treat for us. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know what an eighth was until like because I got out and I had to stop smoking. So like I didn't even know really what that was. I didn't know the numbers or like what the scale of what was what until like well into my 20s. So I don't know how we was doing a chronic.
I went from dime bags to quarter pounds. I literally just started buying it by the pound about a year or two ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's just from my mobility, just the fact that, you know, weed is in my budget, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but when I do my budget,
weed is always in the budget.
It go internet, electricity. Okay, it goes rent, electricity, internet, weed. That's a bill. It's a whole bill item.
Weed is all up there with them, so it didn't even matter where you put it, really.
So it's one of those. It's up there with. It's semi non-negotiable because if I got hella bills,
I'm gonna need weed weed is gonna make me say fuck them until I'm ready to deal with them.
Now things like rent and electricity, rent's gonna get paid. Electricity, I will let that motherfucker slide a month so I can get the weed. I'm not gonna lie. As long as I'm not on no cutoff notice, which I don't get to, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, we can let 2 months pile up. You know, just pay it off a month at a time. You know,
it's like I'm not
get
gonna
on the flex plan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cut out weed out my thing. We all have our reason. We all have our vices. I'm not encouraging you not to pay your light bill. I'm just saying, in my house, certain things are gonna slide if it can to what you call it. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm with you.
You know, but trust me, I didn't smoke the candlelight before, so don't get me wrong. I'm not more worried about the electricity because of the electricity. I'm more worried about the electricity because of the internet. Because we got kids around here. That internet go off, man. They don't mind.
God.
They don't mind.
Be a madhouse.
Yeah, they don't mind fucking. They can play in the dark all the time. But if there ain't no internet, oh no. I'll be too high to try to entertain these motherfuckers.
Oh my God, I think I'll lose my mind there because sometimes like it'll just update randomly, like so the shit'll just go off, and I'll be like, oh hell no, like just
exactly.
Because I normally watch YouTube all day, so you know, like if it go off and in my iPad, I can't, you know, like I mean I have my phone, but like my phone might be getting ready to die or something, so like. I'll just be like, Lord, I don't want to get up and go to McDonald's to get some service. Just let me turn the shit back on.
so let us know, you guys, you folks. Let us know how much you smoke. You know, may or may not. I don't know if it'll incriminate you. Only where it's legal in your state. I am blessed to be from California, where it was legal recreationally. Then I moved back here, and it was recreational. So. We, don't let us get you in trouble. So let us know what you can based on your legalities in your municipalities.
Right. Don't get on here and incriminate yourself.
Exactly. Please don't.
Because we don't got no bail money.
Let us know how much you smoke and everything like that. Now, one of the big things this week in the news is Chris Rock had his special. What was it? Saturday night?
Friday. No, I think it was Thursday or Friday night.
Because
it's been out for about a week almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it premiered live. So it came on. He did it live on stage, and let me change this. I put HBO Max. It's actually Netflix, y'all. Let me change this title up.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
So we're accurate, and we're gonna review it later. But in it, everybody was watching it because they wanted to know. About the slap, and Chris did mention the slap, and I'm gonna let you go because I haven't seen it. I'm only going off what I read, but Jada's reaction to it. Go ahead with Jada's reaction.
And this is just all of this is alleged. I watched it. I tried to watch it Friday. And I couldn't get through it on Friday. I fell asleep on it. Saturday I watched it again. He doesn't get to that part till the end. Really, when he starts talking about, the really like the last 10 minutes of the show. Like you have to wait to get to that part. So
which I'm sure he did on purpose.
Yeah, of course, because you got to stick through the whole thing, and that's what y'all here for. I know. He apparently Jada was talking about I don't. To me, it's kind of odd that you would watch it knowing that he's going to talk about it. So that's why I said it's kind of speculative whether she did or not, but she was coming out saying that he was obsessed with her or what have you.
Yes.
Which, I mean, if I'm Chris Rock, I'm, and even I don't have to be Chris Rock to understand that this happened to him. So he can talk about it as much as he wants to talk about it.
Exactly.
And he can talk about how it made him feel. You know, a lot of people are naturally coming out and saying, they're still very much on Will's side. So there's a lot of criticism that he's getting behind it. He and he also said that Will never apologized. He never got an actual apology from Will. He was just going around on this apology tour, crying and whining to everybody. About what he was experiencing. But at the end of the day, you hit this man, and you hit this man on live TV in front of not only the people there, but millions of other people.
Exactly.
It's called selective outrage, and he not giving too much away because it's really only that much part of it. It's not. He feels like that's what Will practices, selective outrage. So because y'all had been talking about it, y'all went on a whole book tour about the shit. Y'all, you interviewed your cheating partner on fucking the red table.
All right, let's back it up there because I don't think she cheated.
I don't think she did either. I honestly don't think she did. I just said that because that's what everybody's calling her.
Yeah, everybody's calling it. Yeah, she didn't cheat, in my opinion.
And I don't feel like she cheated on him. I feel like they had took a break or what have you, and because he was doing him too. So and nobody's saying anything about that, which I find
Well, years ago it was said. It was said years ago that that's what they do. That's how they roll.
No, I'm talking about him being able to, because I've seen pictures of him with other women. They said that him and Margot Robbie had this affair while they were filming that movie. That was kind of quiet. All the stuff that he's done, and I'm not saying that that's true or not. It's just that when there's male infidelity, quote unquote, everybody just like, oh, that's just what men do, but why is she being,
that led to that. That led to that debate. My thing is, when I feel that he called it selective outrage, it was also how everybody else was doing too. Because remember, Chris has said all along that he didn't feel like a victim.
And he said he said it too. I'm not a victim.
Yeah,
like he said that she hurt him more than he ever hurt me. So that was one of the things he said. So I was like, well, damn. I mean, he didn't really hold back. So
and back to what you said about the cheating. Tony was basically saying, cheating or not, they put it out there for public opinion. And that's what occurred.
And people keep saying don't be people have these strong opinions about one about their relationship, like they know what's going on. Because I remember being young in the 90s and they were saying that they were swingers or they were open. So this isn't new. This new generation, this social media is taking all this old tea that we almost forgot about. And bringing it back and making it some new shit. So
when we like, man, that ain't nothing new, y'all kids.
This is tabloid fodder that we talking about. Like this,
y'all
is
kids,
the star and the
is
sun.
late. Because I remember interviews with Will and Jenna saying they do their own thing, and they're okay with it. So that whole thing they did on the red table was for y'all, and I'm sure, and I will stand by this to this day. Will was not crying. Will was high, and he really wanted.
He did look high. He did look like. I don't think he was crying either. I think he might have been. He probably had a little attitude too. Because it had gotten to where now they're being tarnished out because they never. Back when we were younger, we had some kind of like anonymity with our stars. Like we just found out shit whenever they did an interview or
saw it in the tabloids.
Some old tabloid. That's how we got our tea. Now it's just y'all get on this internet and y'all really say anything,
exactly.
like you say anything and people just take it and run with it and don't really use their brain and critical thinking skills.
It goes back to just minding your fucking business. You know what I mean? Mind your business, y'all. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. But also the other side of that too is this is just like where we are now. Like we're all publicity is good publicity, so nobody ever really gets canceled like that. Nobody ever and a lot of the stuff gets orchestrated, to look a certain way. And come to find out that's not really it's like it's a Olivia Pope in the background, orchestrating all this shit to get you paying attention to this so you can ignore what's really going on. So
to me, Chris could have talked about everything, but it's from what I've been reading, it sounded like people said he attacked her, but there's always been this hatred for, at least in our community, it's always been a hatred for Jada Pinkett Smith.
I don't know why.
Me neither. I don't either.
I've never understood that back then. All of that was new to me. I didn't know that people didn't like Jada Pinkett Smith.
I didn't either.
I think people were questioning her, relationship with, but they both came out. They were just friends. They weren't intimate. They weren't, they just went to high school together and they were besties, like nobody ever said that. I don't know where it came out that, she was supposedly in this relationship with him. Like they were just friends. So, they're holding that against her. They're holding the fact that they let their kids like pretty much raise themselves, which I mean, in the Black community, that's kind of frowned upon,
That's their business how they raise their kids.
Yeah, that's their business.
I like Willow
to do that.
I love both Willow and Jaden. You know what I mean? Jaden a little weird. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
He's a little weird, but I like
and I believe how they was well done, and I felt like, hey, y'all mind y'all business, y'all raise y'all kids your way. It didn't seem like they came up there talking about their kids and how this affected their kids. Their kids knew what was going on because from what I understand from past interviews, they're open with their children also about what's going on in their lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it goes back to minding your business. Chris Rock will always be Chris Rock. Chris Rock has been talking about Jada for years. Don't get me wrong.
But he has.
In this case, from what I read, he should have just stuck with the jokes and left Jada alone. He should have just stuck with the jokes.
My personal opinion, and I know this has all been a year ago, but since we're talking about it, like to me, it wasn't. The joke wasn't really that bad. It was just the way. I don't even think he was really he was talking about her like that. But he does seem to kind of have this fascination with her. So I don't know, like I like Chris Rock as a comedian. I thought he, his last specials that I've seen have been funny to me. He's more like a political, a lot of political and race stuff too. A lot of Black people think he panders to white people, so I don't know where they got that from. But
I think a lot of that came from is a lot of times when we caught certain comedians being racially insensitive, Chris Rock was at the table. It didn't do anything. Doesn't mean he was pandering. I believe comedy is supposed to invoke conversation. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna tell a quick story here before we move on. I got tickets to go see Robin Williams. Okay. And at the MGM Grand, this was before he passed. Rest in peace to Robin Williams. Man, I miss him. That hit me hard when he.
Yeah, he was funny. I love.
When I found out he passed, because he's from the Bay Area. But when we were there, he started doing jokes like black jokes, and he started doing like the black vernacular and things like that. It was part of his bit, and the people around me were looking at me before they laughed. They wanted to check to see if I was laughing before they laughed. I was like, "Hey, don't look at me. I didn't pay to be here. Y'all did. Laugh y'all asses off." You know what I mean?
Most black comedians shtick is, race jokes, but that's coming from a place of, dealing with race in real life. So I think that's why, we're able to talk about it, but we can't really get mad when, we can't have selective outrage when, because a lot of these jokes are rooted in stereotypes, and a lot of stereotypes are rooted in truth. So
some stereotypes are rooted in truth, but some of it, like I say, is satire. It's comedy. It's satire. I get it.
Yeah, you could take the joke as long as it's not like horribly offensive. Because I know, we get up there and do a little white man voice. Hey, exactly. I've seen comedy specials like that. I laugh.
Yeah, I do too.
I've seen this Jewish guy do bits about black people, and I laugh too because it's funny and because I've seen that personally in my life, so I can understand it. So
I believe comedy is what it's made for, to make you laugh and to make you think. And we were talking about people minding people's business. That brings us to our next story.
What did Tony say? And that joke was a joke. Don Rickles. No.
I'm not saying Don Rickles. Okay, there we go. I got the title up right. Zaya Wade was granted gender and name change. If y'all don't know, Zaya Wade is the child of Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union is the stepmother, but she's been there the whole step of the way. What are your thoughts on
it? My thoughts are, I believe that maybe they should have waited until she was 18 to let her, I guess it's her now, to make that decision. As a 16-year-old or so, I think Zaya's 17 now. You still, you have no clue. You're not even fully developed until you're like 25. Like our brains don't even fully develop till we're 25 years old. And I just feel like they're kind of pandering to a little bit, I don't want to, I think it's great that D Wade is supportive of his son wanting to transition, I guess. Just being a supportive father. But I think he doesn't really co-parent as far as like what the mother thinks. I know they fell out, they just have it's been bad blood since the divorce. So I think that naturally she wanted to stop it. Not stop it indefinitely, but at least just let's wait until he's at least legally an adult before we change his name and change his gender. It's why does this have to happen now?
Where I stand on it is, one, I love it. Congratulations to Zaya. My thing is, what people don't understand, this is just a gender and name change. This is what most transgendered folks go through. They get rid of their dead name. This is just a name change. She is not getting the surgery yet. That's something that I know and understand that they're waiting until she does get to an age to make that choice on her own. So this is just a name change. This is just something on paper. People like, what if she changes her mind? There still hasn't been any sort of permanent stuff going on, because she can still stop taking the hormones. She can still go to court to get her name changed back. So she hasn't gotten any surgery. And to me, I believe this is just a natural progression. She's 17. She's getting to that point. To me, there's no surgery. I do believe when children do transition, surgery should be something they wait until they're 18. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's
They should
mine
wait till they're
too.
18 to start doing the surgery portion of this. But the hormones and things like that, that's between them and their support system. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
yeah, it is honestly, but they put it
Mm-hmm.
out there for everybody to
Mm-hmm.
opine upon. So
Yes.
that's and
Mm-hmm.
it, because it's such a polarizing issue,
Yes.
you are getting people that are
Mm-hmm.
naturally very conservative on the
Yeah.
issue, like boys are boys, girls are girls,
Mm-hmm.
and they shouldn't be encouraging that, at least now. And then there's naturally the community that's very supportive of it,
Mm-hmm.
because they started
Mm-hmm.
transitioning very young,
Yes.
very young.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
affect my everyday life.
Exactly. And that's what.
It's naturally it's a topic
Mm-hmm.
of interest because
Mm-hmm.
again, because it is such a polarizing issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't know, I'm a little more
Mm-hmm.
just, well, just wait until
Yeah.
and it
Exactly.
is basically, it is
Mm-hmm.
simply a name change, and
Mm-hmm.
now she can be referred to as she,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is why I'm referring to
Yeah.
her as she now.
Yes.
um
Mm-hmm. It's
and
yeah.
you know
It's one of those things like Tony just said. It's not something he agrees to, but it's none of his
yeah.
business, and it doesn't affect him. And that's what
Hmm.
everybody's saying. That's what I'm saying. If it don't
That's what
affect
I'm
you,
saying too.
let's move on. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm gonna respect her. I'm gonna respect her pronouns. But like you said, when they put it out there, they always open it up for people's opinions. Um, but I say this to those people out there: remember, you're still talking about a child,
Hmm.
and I don't know what some people feel because they feel once a child does something that's not the norm, they're not a child anymore.
Hmm.
And especially in the marginalized community, we will disrespect something anyway because it goes against what people believe. I
Right.
don't care. That is still someone's child. And I came up, we don't talk about people's kids. We don't,
No, you're not supposed to talk about people's kids, but these
yeah.
people don't care. Like just some of
Mhm.
the stuff that I read is very,
Mhm.
very disrespectful, and
Yes.
like it's that would be part of my concern too. Like, just why,
Yes.
like, if we put this out there,
Mhm.
there's going to be so many people that are going to not be okay with this, and they're
Exactly.
going to say that they're not okay with this, and they're going to be really mean about what they
Mhm.
say. And
Exactly.
because she's still a child, that can have some lasting effect
Mhm.
too, because we don't know how
Yes.
she's coping with this emotionally,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I feel like, just as a parent, I would want
Mhm.
to protect my child a little bit more. But
Exactly.
like, that's their house, so
And that's how I feel. And to
yeah.
me, good for her. Other folks, mind your business. It's not really affecting your life.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
not,
isn't.
like, it's
Mhm.
just, if you don't want to see it, just turn away, scroll past, like, I see stuff today, I had to, I guess, kind of pat myself on the back, because I'll be like, I see so much stuff that
Yeah.
I just know, if I say something, I'll
Mhm.
just, like, but it's pointless. Like, for
Sometimes
what?
your face
Like,
says it all, though.
yeah,
Sometimes
I'll
your
just
face
be
says
like, now, why would you say some dumbass shit like that?
exactly.
Like, but that's just, me being human. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's really none of anybody's business.
Real. Now, before it just lit. God damn.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
I'm tearing this shake up. Okay.
Well, before we get to the munchies, y'all, there is some bad news. On Friday, 4 Americans went to Mexico to support one of them getting a tummy tuck. They were kidnapped. They were kidnapped by a cartel, and yesterday it was announced that two of the four of them were found dead. The other two were brought to Texas to. They're brought to Texas to for for treatment, and it's sad.
It's sad, but I have an opinion about how kind of strange this all is to me.
Yes.
But I'm gonna hear your take.
Well, my take on it.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
my
go
take
ahead.
on it is I have to wait for more information. One, it was an elective surgery, and two, we already know you're risking your life getting the surgery. Not the fact that you're getting it done in Mexico, because most of the time the Mexican work is just as good as the work here in the States.
Yeah.
But if you know that let's be clear. When you travel to Mexico, especially when you stay at an Airbnb, you get charged for security. You know what I mean? You know, were these people really aware of what's going on down there? The federals, the State Department is saying that it was a case of wrong place, wrong time. But until I'm gonna do a deep dive on it, I do have my opinions about people getting elective surgery and then putting themselves in danger, not only physically, but now in this place. Well, physically, but also going down to a place that's dangerous to be. I don't see any foul play, although I did hear somebody hung back because they did, for whatever reason, they didn't go across the border. But hey, I don't know what happened. Some people said they were smuggling shit. I don't know. I gotta wait. But you go ahead because you got that smile on your face.
That's what I was just gonna kind of, like it's some, how internet conspiracy theorists like to conspiratorize, conspire, right? But I have been kind of keeping up with it too. There's some questions about why all four of y'all needed to go down there for her surgery. And two, why would they just kind of kidnap y'all? Like, what? There's hummings of something else going on. Like maybe it was a drug deal gone bad. And they're also questioning why only two of them were killed and not all four. Well, so those were some of the questions that, like I kind of ran across. It kind of makes me want to look into it a little bit more because we don't have all the facts just on paper. That's what they went down.
My understanding is that,
and they just happen to get, but there is something a little weird about this to me.
Yeah, my understanding is that the two who died during the taking. They died in the battle before the other two were kidnapped. I don't know if all four of them got picked up and put into the van, but my understanding is that two of them were already dead in the whole confrontation, and the other two were being moved back and forth. I heard there are different theories that they mistaken them for Haitian smugglers. Don't know why Haitians would be smuggling through Mexico when there's easier ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, there's more to the story, y'all. We're definitely going to stay on top of it. Rest in peace to all those and prayers to the families involved.
Yeah, that's crazy. I keep seeing all these people talking about they not going to Mexico or, you motherfuckers don't even have a passport or nothing. So I don't know. I haven't been out the state, so Mexico's not missing you.
Exactly.
But to piggyback off that, we haven't really had any updates about Shanquella. But as far as I know, the last update that I did hear was her family is trying to get people to move on it. There's been no updates. Nobody's really been charged. I don't think anybody's been caught. So we're still kind of just in limbo with her.
Yeah, there's the thing about the Shanquella Robinson case is technically the State Department can't do anything unless they can prove that she was set up before they left the States. You know what I mean? They have to prove that she left the States. They left the States with the intent to kill her. So if not, they can't charge her on this end. In Mexico, they have the same burden of proof for murder. So it might just be one of those real sad situations with her case. But you
Or
know what?
maybe
I'm
it's gone cold,
mhm.
like they
I'm
can't,
gonna make sure.
the people done fled, so
Mhm. I'm gonna
it's
make
not
sure.
like,
Yeah, I'm gonna see what's going on with that, y'all, and see if I can get you a better update next week. Now we
yeah.
talked about Chris Rock earlier. That's in our what are you? That's in our what are you watching? You said you watched Chris Rock's special, and you gave it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, maybe closer to 3.5 out of 5.
Uh-huh.
Only because, I found myself kind of like tuning out, like it
Uh-huh.
didn't keep me engaged the whole way. There were some funny parts,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess because maybe I was in expectation of,
Mm-hmm.
what I saw in the sound bites. I thought it was just going to be the whole,
Mm-hmm.
because he came from Meghan Markle too. He said something
Yeah.
about Meghan Markle, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Um, about just her, like, girl, that's not racism. That's just your in-laws don't like you, kind of thing.
Yeah, for
So
real.
I remember that part. But
Uh,
other than that, I really didn't, really wasn't. I don't know if I was just high and just not, really paying attention to all of it.
yeah.
But I gave it a 4 out of 5. Maybe it's probably closer to a
3 and a
3.5 out
half.
of,
Yeah, I put
yeah,
three and a
three and
half
a
up
half.
there. Now,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, 4 maybe it's giving it a little
mhm.
bit much.
And that's Chris Rock Selective Outrage. That's streaming on Netflix right now. You
Hmm.
also watch the House Party reboot, remake, whatever it is, on HBO Max. You gave that 3.5 blunts also.
Yeah, and that's kind of being generous. Oh,
You said generous.
kind of. Like there were funny parts in it. The
Yeah.
story, they rebooted it, so it took place in L.A.
Uh-huh.
Instead of New York, which
Uh-huh.
is what the original story is based out of.
Yeah.
The same themes were
Mm-hmm.
present, but they tweaked it to, modernize it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James produced it. So,
Of course he did.
yeah, of course he did. So, and he made an appearance in it as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
It was, I don't know, like it was just because it was just, I don't know what I was expecting, but I
Uh-huh.
wasn't expecting that. Um,
Mhm.
I don't want to spoil it, so it'll have the same things, but it's
Mhm.
just a lot of, like, why are y'all doing this? Like, what is this for? Like, his kid, he
Mhm.
has to make money to, have these kids. His
Uh-huh.
daughter sent to this expensive ass preschool, and
School.
that's what they
Yeah.
need the money for. It's like, well, why
Mhm.
does she have to go to this fucking school? Like, to me,
Exactly.
but whatever. They
Mhm.
needed a premise, so.
Okay, that's true. Now myself, I ended up watching Creed 3, and that's in theaters now, y'all. I
Yeah.
gave it 4 blunts. If those who follow who've seen the Rocky movies, this is a mix between Rocky 4 and Rocky 5.
So you
Um,
saw Creed.
yeah, I saw Creed 3,
Okay.
but it's a
Okay.
mix between Rocky 4 and Rocky 5. For those who've been following the Creed series, they have been mixing up Rocky themes from past movies in some of these movies. They've been doing callbacks and things like that. 4 out of 5. It's a solid movie. Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, with Michael B. Jordan behind the camera, also as the director.
Yeah, he
It's a,
directed
it's
this
a, it's
one.
an awesome movie. It had its quirks. Don't get me wrong. It had its quirks, but it was a solid movie. I really think these guys need to do more movies often where they're
I
playing.
really like Jonathan Majors as an actor. I
Yeah.
love his acting style. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of Denzelish to me.
Uh-huh.
It puts me in the mind of like one of those kind of actors.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved him in Lovecraft Country. I loved him in The Harder They Fall. Like,
Yeah.
I love the characters that he
Mm-hmm.
chooses. I haven't seen Creed 3 yet, but
Uh-huh.
there's a little bit of controversy about how Stallone was kind of written out of it, or kind of booted out the series. So it's kind of becoming its own thing.
Yeah, that became its
even
own.
though it's an offshoot of the Rockies, it's kind of its own series now.
You know what? This didn't need Rocky. Maybe if he would have appeared in a memory segment, but this didn't need Rocky. I do believe after the last Creed, we can put Rocky to bed because Rocky
I mean, he's 87. He looks like a walking statue at this point. Like he's just, Rocky, and I love Sly. So he's just. I mean, we don't need to see him.
In my opinion, he did what he needed for the series. So let's go ahead and finish off with this Creed, with the Creed storyline. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a good, solid movie. Jonathan Majors once again took the show, just like he did in Ant-Man Quantumania, which he actually saved that movie in my opinion.
Really?
When it came to Quantumania,
he saved it.
He saved it. Definitely, if you do want to go see it, go to like a $5 Monday or something at the Palms.
Okay.
Go see it. I also recommend going to see Creed in IMAX. So if you can't afford that $30 IMAX ticket here in Vegas, Brendan Theaters at the Palms, $5 Mondays on movies, any format. So do it that what you will, people. And go however you want to go. Now, let me get these titles switched out here, y'all. Now let's get to munchies, because whenever you're watching a movie, you got the munchies. And I actually got something here I'm gonna try live, y'all.
Oh wow!
I didn't get it, but one thing I did try was the Sonic barbecue chip flavored tots. And I can tell you, I didn't expect much out of them, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. They it's basically the tater tots with
barbecue sauce.
But with barbecue sauce, it's shook in the barbecue sauce. They put it in a bowl and they shake it. But they also put this barbecue chip seasoning in there also. So that's another layer. I can do without the barbecue sauce, because what it did was it took the crunch away from
it sounded like it made it soggy.
Yeah, it took the crunch away. It didn't make it soggy because I ate them right there. But to me, it took that crunch away. I could do without the barbecue sauce because the seasoning was there without the sauce. I didn't need the sauce. The seasoning was definitely enough. That's why I gave it 4.5, because if it was just the seasoning and those things, mine could have been fried a little harder because I wanted that crunch, because I tasted potato chip. I tasted barbecue potato chip. I should have got barbecue potato chip.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I wanted that crunch also, because that would have helped my mind sort of rectify it.
Yeah, that you were. Yeah,
but it was still good. So I gave it 4.5. We're gonna try my last thing here live after what you got going on. And you said you had the flaming hot Cheetos mango flavored or tango flavored.
Chili tango flavored, and they were really good. I gave them a 5 out of 5. And they kind of put me in the mind of like it's crunchy, but it puts me in the mind of like a sweet and sour sauce, like a sweet and sour taste, but crunchy. I kept every time I ate one, I felt like I was eating something with sweet and sour sauce on it. And it was a little spicy. It's not a overpowering heat. It's just a little chili flavor. But they were really good, surprisingly. They weren't bad. I gave them a 5 out of 5. And then I did have a munchie that I added. Which I mean it's not really a new thing. It's just a shake, a caramel shake. I never really get their Sonic's blizzards or anything. I always just get their shake, because to me the blast or whatever, it's just a lot going on. So, but I don't know if it's because I haven't had anything sweet in a little while, or if I'm just like high and just. But as you see, this is what I've been snacking on all day.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Sonic don't miss with the shakes. They don't miss with the shakes.
They don't.
I love a Sonic shake. It's next to going to an actual ice cream shop and getting the shake. And in the munchies here, Tony said he's having chicken fajitas tonight.
Okay.
Chicken fajitas is good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good, right? I just we just had some chicken enchiladas last week. But chicken fajitas is good too. Tony's also said that Arby's brisket sandwich is a waste of money, just an FYI. And Tony, that was actually on my list. I still might go try it because I've been wondering what the hell has been keeping Arby's in business.
Me too, because I'm like, I can't even tell you the first or the last time I went to Arby's. I've been there before it opened. This was like, it had to be when I was a kid, but I live by one, so I see it and I'm like, maybe I should go in there and try something. Break the stereotype up, that,
I need to see what the fuck is going on here, y'all.
Yeah, I need to see what's going on in here because y'all been open. For ever since I've known y'all to be open, and somebody's eating the shit. Like somebody's eating.
Exactly.
I want to get down to the brass tacks.
I want to get down to what the fuck going on here.
Yeah, y'all got cracking.
So let us know, y'all. Let us know what your go-to munchie is. Let us know what your go-to munchie is. Yes, what I'm about to try here, y'all, is I got Peeps flavored Pepsi.
Where did you find that?
Walmart of all places.
Oh Lord!
Found it at Walmart.
Who wanted a Peeps? Who requested a Peeps flavor? Peeps taste like medicine to me.
I got to get myself together.
Okay, yeah.
I found this, but in all my girl's infinite wisdom, she went out and got Peep milkshake and Peep cereal. I don't know what the hell she peeped out.
Right. Where did you find that?
Once again, we got to figure out who the hell is keeping Peeps in business. Because last year was Flaming Hot Peeps.
Buddy.
I got this to try it. So let me go ahead here, crack it up. Let's see if I can get this thing on there. Oh, that didn't even fizz. God damn. The whole cap came off. Oh, man.
Oh,
this already started off bad.
It's already.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
I'm gonna put this down.
Put the cap on and sit it back down. Oh God.
Unlike some of the other Pepsi flavors I tasted that just had a hint of it, and I tasted more Pepsi. One that tasted sweet. You can taste the marshmallow in the background, but there's also something that coats your tongue in there. I don't like
That's that medicine part.
Yeah, I don't like it. You
look like you turned it green a little bit. You all right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give that to my girl. Yeah, I didn't like it. I'm glad I didn't rate it. But definitely, y'all, it's Peeps season because it's Easter. So if you're in the Peeps, run out and try that. I know Target got the whole line of the different shit they got with Peeps and shit like that. Y'all go out and get it. I don't like it.
That's something you probably could cook with. Like, I wouldn't drink that. Like, maybe it's you could use it to saute some meat in or something. But yeah, that didn't seem like that was a good idea from the jump. But
it definitely wasn't
being a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea. I hope never to do it again. I really hope it doesn't happen again.
I don't think it's going to.
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. Now, before we get out of here, y'all, you got any show ideas? You want to be a guest? Go ahead and hit us up at info@theagingpotheads.com so that we can get you on. We are actively looking. We are gonna shoot some content this month, y'all. So definitely y'all want to hang around for that. We got a festival coming up here in Vegas that we are going to make it to. It's a foodie type thing. So all our foodies definitely look forward to that in the future
Yes.
when we get back from that. We do want to thank you for watching us and everything like that. I mean, thank you. This is show 28.
Yeah,
We've
that's
been here a
a
while,
lot.
y'all. So
We're gonna have to archive in a minute, huh?
Exactly. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And Tony is right, man. Potheads at a foodie festival. Yeah, that's gonna
a little slice of heaven.
Yeah, exactly, y'all.
A little slice of heaven.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we get out of here, y'all, as we say every week, we'd rather talk with you than about you. If you got something going on in your life, y'all, make sure you dial or text 988 and talk to somebody, get the help you need.
Yes.
Most definitely, y'all, because we want y'all to be here next week to watch us. We want you to be here every week to watch us. But as we get out of here, y'all, as we always say, meditate and medicate. And as always, my friends, stay lifted. I am Big Brother Boss. That is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X. Good night. Catch you next time.
Good night.